On today's episode of Roundtable with Faozy, I have my good friends, artist Ruckus and blogger Leslie Christina, and we'll be discussing on whether no really means no. Thank you guys for joining me today, and you look nice. Thank you. You're very welcome. So the main question I really want to ask both of you is, does no really mean no?
Yes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time? What do you mean most of the time?
Okay. I don't want to sound bad because I know I'm a guy and people are like, oh my God, girls are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. But to me, personally, no does mean no. However, let's talk Nigerian, Niger women.
So it's different per culture?
I feel like it's different per culture.
It can be, yeah. Cause
you know, and American girls are just really direct.
Everybody has their own way of doing things and how their body language is versus what they're saying out of their mouth. I do agree with that.
I want to ask you a question about body language and what really comes out of your mouth. Okay. So here's a situation of, let's say you go to a guy's house. Let's say I go to a guy's house and I really go, he's like, yeah, let's watch Netflix and chill. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I just really want to watch. There's this movie on Netflix I really want to watch, and I really enjoy this guy's company. I want to hang out with him. And I go over there, and at some point, he starts kissing on my neck. And obviously, that's going to send some type of biological response.
Right.
I can't not respond, even if I want to say no. But I'm saying no, but let's say I'm like, no. That's still no, though, right?
It is, and okay, so I think for women, this is where, and I think this is why a lot of blame happens to women when it comes to rape. Because as a woman, we have to be really direct, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be like, no, and then still leaning forward and now your shirt is unbuttoned. Because the guy's going to take that as a signal. So even though your mouth is saying one thing, your body language is saying another. He's going to say, that's a green light. Let's go and go ahead for it. Exactly. Until things go too far, right? Until things go too far, then it's like, no, I didn't want him to do that. I just want to, you wanted to test it a little bit. It's like a girl's version of playing just the tip. You see what I'm saying? It's like the girl's version of that.
I think for guys, all we want is for your body language to match up with the words that are coming out of your mouth. And when in doubt, what we're gonna go with is we're gonna go with the body language because that's what we're touching, that's what we're feeling. And so depending on the culture, and this is what I was saying with Nigerian women, depending on the culture, in Nigerian culture, you get a lot of women who grow up in conservative environments. They grow up in households where mom and dad told you that sex was wrong, where you're told that you're supposed to be. It's like guys want this woman who is pristine and has never been touched.
A prude.
Right? She's prude. But they still want her to be kind of a freak.
Right.
So when the moment arises and things start getting hot and heavy, this girl is trying to project this image of, no, I don't want this because I'm the prude that you always wanted, but yes, take it, And so the man just goes with that, like, man, look, I know she's saying no, but really she been wanting this for a while, And so he tends to push. Yeah. In America, women are so direct and are just like, look, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, or don't do it, don't touch me, whatever. And it's pretty, the lines are pretty, and then the law enforcement.
And that's another thing. And I think that plays a bigger play in it too, because, let's just say that a woman is at a guy's house in Nigeria and he does rape her. We all know the Sugar Belly story. Sugar Belly story, yeah. Okay, and his family is of affluence, right? So what's going to happen to him?
Nothing.
And then what's going to happen to her?
She's pregnant. I actually have a story.
Not even pregnant, but she's gonna be she's gonna be shamed.
Bullied,
they're gonna,
because they look down on
rape, all of that.
Now,
I have a personal story. For me, like, I actually know somebody who needed a place. We were working on some stuff and it got late. This is back in Nigeria, and they didn't have I didn't even want them traveling at that time, so I was like, "Oh, feel free. You could just stay here." So they stayed with me. Now, I didn't try and do anything, even though this person was pretty attractive and there was some chemistry there. So the next morning, we were just kind of talking about stuff, and they were kind of almost saying, like, thank you for not raping me.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Because I wasn't used, I'm used to America and how things are like, you can't cross any line. She's like, oh, look, man, most times if you're trying to stay with a dude, it's gonna be some kind of way. Like, and if the guy wants to do something, what are you gonna say? I mean, you stayed late at his house, you were in his room, so the expectation is that you, or the way it's viewed in Nigeria, that you set yourself up for that. So all signs point to you wanting him to do something. And that's really different from what you get in America, you know?
And that's, and you know what? And it's funny you say that because even on the Sugar Belly, if you read the comments, everybody was like, she walked in there with her 2 legs. Like, she walked in there. Why didn't she just leave?
For those of you that don't, I don't know, are you familiar
I'm
with
not
the
familiar
Sugar?
with the Sugar Belly.
So pretty much,
go ahead and
this
explain
girl, her name was Sugar Belly.
Sounds
She was,
like a nice name.
she had a job. She met this guy who was a politician's son. And long story short, he pretty much raped her along with his friends, and they would take advantage of her multiple times. And she eventually brought the story out a couple years later, and they victim shamed her pretty much.
But the whole controversy is that she kept going back.
What do you mean kept going
So the guy, she happens to be in an intimate relationship with the guy as well. So that just leads me to my next question of, can your partner rape you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I hear different opinions on this, because I've heard Nigerians tell me that, no, your husband cannot rape you, that is your husband.
Okay, so it depends on your view. Like, in my personal opinion, you don't own anybody. I can't own a woman. You know, every day that you choose to be with me, you made that choice. It was a conscious choice. If you choose that I'm not gonna have sex with you today, that's the choice that you made. And I can't, the moment I say what you have is mine, then I'm breaking the law. Like, I'm forcing
So you're
myself.
looking at it like an American.
Right, because most Nigerian men don't view it the way you're viewing it.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think the benefit, thank God, the benefit of having grown up with 2 different cultures in play is that you can take the best from both. I can see some things that are wrong and kind of be like, I'm going to be a little bit more progressive than this. Because that sounds kind of ridiculous. So what if your wife gets mad at you? She's upset. She's not talking. You did something. You did some dirt. Now you just feel like, okay, it's time for sex. So let me take what's mine. No, like.
But there are a lot of men who think like that, though.
Maybe
It sounds unreasonable to you, but there's a lot of men who think that way. A lot.
And not even just Nigerian men.
Yeah.
Honestly, African American men think like that too. Well, we're about to have some bomb sex because we're mad. You know?
If we decide to have sex, then we're about to have some bomb sex.
Well,
but if we do not, that's not bomb.
That's rape.
That's rape. That's just what it is. Like, I don't see how the rules change when you're married. Like, how do the rules change?
Because that's your husband. That's what you're meant to do. You're meant to be
a sexual
you're
object.
You have to feel your.
You got to be submissive.
You got to
wifely duty.
You got to do your
Just a hole.
Exactly.
He just comes and penetrates you.
Yeah. And if you don't
Anyway,
give it to
my
him,
household, but
and he looks outside, it's your fault.
That sounds foul. That's terrible.
Believe it or not, a lot of people do feel
The thing
this
about
way.
it is too, like, I've had guys say, like, you know, I've been hanging out with dudes before, and they'll, you know, they obviously want to do something. They're like, "Oh, you're just gonna leave me like this? Did I make you like that? Did I make you like that?"
Really, I didn't. You know what? I have
Did
been
I do
in
it?
situations where, like, I will not lay my finger on a man.
You don't have to lay your finger on a man.
Let me even ask you a
For them
question.
to feel
So what happens now? Let's say a babe comes over, or you go to a lady's house and y'all start making out. Let's say you're telling her you're coming. She's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you. And you're like, okay, I'm just coming to hang out. You know how you guys are. Mm-hmm. So, because before the cameras were rolling, remember we were talking within ourselves, and I heard somebody say, if we listen to the nose, we'll never get laid.
It's true. It's true. If you listen to the nose, it's never gonna happen.
In Nigeria,
especially with Nigerian women, especially
with Nigerian women or in Nigeria,
no,
because I feel like the women
both.
here
both.
are a little bit more.
With Nigerian women, especially in Nigeria, but even Nigerian women here, it's still you're still kind of bringing that culture into America. Mm-hmm. So it's like you just shifted it. Yeah, it's the same women, but here. You know, so yeah, you got to be more careful. But a lot of times you get, I was telling you this, you get the no, don't.
Yeah, but so there are different types of no's.
Not like this, too fast now. It's too fast. But you can tell body language is saying like,
it's
take
true.
Me, like
what if
dominate.
What if she's What if she's like, no, and she's like, wait, no, and then at that point,
that's different.
Okay.
That's different.
And even then, some guys will still
go ahead.
I had one guy tell me that his dad even taught him that don't take no for the first. Like if she says no the first time, keep trying. Yes, and now I don't know if he meant in sex or relationship
or
but if
life.
But if you take that mentality, even if he's just talking about dating, if you ask a girl out and she says no, the guy will now use that same.
But look, I'm gonna break it down. It's a mindset. It's the same mindset. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's the same mindset that makes Nigerians so successful. Nigerian men, especially, so successful. Is we don't take no for an answer. That I've seen dudes in action where they're at the club, some bad chick, and then I see some uncle with big pop belly.
But I feel like that may also have to do with other factors.
It has to do with other factors. But at first, she's like, she don't even care how much money. She's like, no, look at you,
not where in Houston? Cause
no, not Houston's Bob
okay.
City. Houston,
that's different.
Okay,
that's different.
So you can't use Houston.
Cannot use Houston at
girls
all.
are giving a number out like it's nothing.
Everybody gives numbers out, but you don't have to do nothing with the number.
No. See, girls in Houston they use men as meal plans. Like you get them, you hand out your number, and then you got meals Monday through Friday. You got dinner.
If you want to take me to Eddie V's on our first date, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna order everything. Okay.
So
you hungry? No, I'm kidding.
But typically Nigerian men, we don't take no for an answer in everyday life, whether it's in business, whether it's our own things that we're trying to do. Let alone when we get to women. So when we get to women, it's just another thing that we're just gonna have to battle through.
In Nigeria, not necessarily in Nigeria, but oftentimes the type of men that we're talking about often view women as inferior beings, anyways.
Yes.
So they're definitely not gonna listen to you.
Okay, so so here's my thing. I think Nigerian men are just an aggressive breed type of men in general.
Aggressive species.
Because I'm even thinking of like something that recently just happened to me. It's one particular guy who has been trying to, get in my midst for, a few years. And he told me, he's like, you must just want to be single. Like, I've given him every reason to not want to go there with me, but he's very consistent, But luckily he's well trained, so he's not like he's gonna just come in and, do anything like that. But, he still has that mentality, pursuit. Even if she's saying no, still let me just go after her and do whatever I need to do to make sure that she wants to be with me, So I just think that that's just the mentality in general. But when it comes to the whole sex thing, there has to be breaks, right? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times too, even with the Nigerian women here, and trust me, rape happens here in the Nigerian community, but there's not a lot of reporting of it. Yeah, right? Yeah. Because if it gets out, because the Nigerian community is so small. It's big, but it's small, right?
People will form their opinions.
Exactly. And it's gonna be the same opinions that they have back in Nigeria, because guess what? That's what their parents are teaching them to think, right?
Exactly.
So it's just the mentality just needs to change all around. It's not necessarily a woman's fault, but if a woman is gonna be in a man's presence, she needs to make herself clear as to what she wants, body language as well as vocally.
Agree.
Because if I'm telling a guy no and I'm like, no.
But let's also be real. It's a long way from saying no and like making out and somebody's kissing on you to getting clothes off, getting underwear off if you're wearing it. I mean, hey, I don't know how you roll.
A lot of people like the
but some people are commando. But it's a long way to get to that point where guys just putting.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever guilt tripped or coerced a girl to spread?
That's not my style.
Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're talking to?
He's like, I just get it. He's like, I don't need to do that.
I don't have to do all that.
For me, I know people, so I can speak on their behalf. For me,
I'm so done with you.
Because for me, I feel like women know what they want. So I've never asked a woman for sex. I've never been the initiator.
You don't have to ask, but if you're there, y'all are making out, and
you're like,
I'm
guilting you. I don't want to guilt somebody.
Look, you see this now. How will this go away?
Look what you did to me with your fine self.
You're right.
Oh, okay.
It's because of you I'm like this.
Exactly.
No, I don't really. What I'll do is
these are all real lines, by the way.
For me personally, what I'll do is I'm just gonna walk around like that. I'm just gonna be.
Go take a shower.
No, I'm just gonna be like the way you left me. If you stop for whatever reason, the way you left me, I'm just gonna be swinging around like that. And if you still don't want to, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna try and convince you. But if you still don't want to,
So-
that's
She's gonna
on
be
you.
saying that thing. She's looking around like this.
So
like,
what you're telling me is your piece speaks for itself. So.
It's, hey.
oh, you're trying to say because
Because I
the
mean, if it's
situation-
already like that, there's no way she's gonna want to resist. Is that what you're
This is a
saying?
new side of you I didn't know about.
I'm just saying, yeah. You know, I haven't encountered this. This is foreign to me.
Oh.
Now I've heard stories. I've heard myths of of times when men haven't been able to get it, and they're like, yo, you gonna leave me like this? Like, yo, what's up? And sometimes,
It happens, man.
And sometimes, but I can't imagine. I feel like that would be a turnoff to a woman to be guilty.
It is such a turn off, by the way.
I'm so happy you brought that up.
It's like begging.
Yeah,
it sounds like begging.
Yeah, it really is. Like
It
actually,
is.
I'm gonna tell you guys a recent occurrence that happened. There was this guy. I guess he was into me. You know, these days you never really know. You just met me
Social media's
yesterday.
killed relationships. anyways.
Really, not even.
Yeah.
But you just met me 2 days ago? I don't understand how you want me to be your
No,
girlfriend.
he loves you, and he wants to be with you.
Really? Like I don't
He
get
can
it.
see a future with you.
You don't even know my last. You don't
You may
even
be
know.
married in 6 weeks. You don't even know. Okay.
But this guy's like, yeah, I really like you, and he's like, come hang out, and me being me, I don't send mixed messages, never. I promise you, I don't. I went with my friends, and it's not like it was something he had to pay for. We just hung out, and we were hanging out, and he's like, yeah, I really, really like you, and this, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't like you, right?
Wow.
And he's like,
Yikes.
and he's like, yeah, it's okay. So I'm leaving, and he's like, where's my goodnight kiss?
Okay. Well,
These dudes really be trying, man.
that
What?
was slick.
They really be trying, and they trying all the wrong ways. It's so sad.
It's where you left it. You need
Is
to
this-
go find it.
Is this a Nigerian guy?
This
course,
is the Nigerian.
of
And the
course.
funny thing is, he came from Nigeria. Oh, he might watch
Yeah,
this. Hey.
that's.
Oh well, he just been called out. You're
You
whack,
have-
dude. Sorry.
See, I'm not gonna say Nigerian dudes don't have game. Actually, Nigerian dudes have game, but it's a different kind of game.
Nope, I'm gonna say they
It's a
don't
different
have
kind-
game.
It's a different kind
I
of
want
game.
to hear this one. How do
Look,
they have game?
See, when in America, when you think of game, you think of like very like a smooth, slick line to where you're telling a girl things that sound good to her ears, and you're also kind of persuading her to think the way you're thinking, whether that's about sex, whether that's about a relationship, whatever. With Nigerian men, it's more of like a forceful.
So Africans are aggressive. Okay.
There's a persistence and a confidence that at some point the game exists in the fact that at some point you're like, wait, this guy just won't stop. Like, why does he feel like he has a chance with me? And that confidence that he's exuding, and that force, and that consistent pressure, at some point, like pressure bust pipes. At some point, you're just like, you know what? Fine. Let me see what this dude is talking about. He keeps coming at me so much. Let me see what he's talking at. And eventually, Uncle will smash and have sex with her. Right?
But then, is it
hold
really
on.
worth it? All this work just for some
But hold
badge?
on. Now, mind you, if you have the money, and a lot of Nigerian men have
Do have the money.
why not? Well, you're saying, is it worth it? If I have the money, why not? He's
And he probably has other women on
He
reserve
has other
too.
women on reserve.
He
So
just
this is
wants this
happening
new
with
one.
10 women at once. Some is Paris if it's a bad chick. Another one is just a couple bottles that it'll take. Another one is just a purse that it'll take.
Another
And-
one is just a sandwich.
But
Right,
wait.
you know?
But let me ask you. So now she calls Uncle up, right?
Yeah.
And Uncle's like, yeah, let's go to San Juan. We're gonna go to San Juan for
Mm.
a week, right? Go to Puerto Rico, have some fun in the sun. And now Uncle's trying to get some.
Sugar daddy's trying to get some sugar.
She's trying to get some sugar, and she's like, no, I don't want to do.
no.
No. But the topic is,
His
I
face
get-
was
no.
priceless.
I get the topic.
because me, I could. Hey, if you want to spend money on me, I
I get the-
don't have to give up
No,
anything.
see, I
This is
get the
correct.
topic.
Right.
This is very,
It's
So
very
if
correct.
now I'm in Puerto Rico with this guy and he's got his big belly,
this is one of those like
get your
is
own
he-
room. Shit.
I get the topic,
But this is also
but it's
one of
a
the-
human nature thing.
And then then she kind of feels indebted.
yes.
But what if it's that one girl? Because remember, we're not talking about the. We're not
maybe
talking
it's that one girl, yeah.
right.
But
keep
you
in mind, most people would say yes. I'm gonna
Where
go
they
ahead.
at? Like that.
me.
It's right. No,
It is
it's
me.
not you.
Is it
It's
us?
not.
Wait, wait,
What?
wait,
Right?
wait,
You said
wait,
okay. Wait a second, right? You said I'm
You know what?
It's not you.
What?
It's not you because I don't even think you would take that first trip to Paris.
You're right. Yes,
I don't
you're
think
right.
you would.
Yeah, you're right.
The
Okay.
girl that would take that.
Don't act
trip,
like you know
come
me.
back
Don't act
and
like you know
call
me.
him. It's a different kind of chick, and I know what that chick would do.
Yeah.
You know, that's the chick that's thought about escorting, but she don't want to look bad. That's the chick that's thought about stripping
Stripping.
because the money's good, but she don't want to look
But
bad.
that's everybody that didn't got it.
I thought like I follow like 5 girls
That's
on
a-
Instagram
that's-
like that.
That's girls
And
like
they did
that,
not go to
but
college.
This is private. This is private.
Ooh. I know.
Shade.
Yes, I'm following you on Instagram. You know who you are.
Oh, shade.
She knows who she
you
is
guys,
too.
we've
So
had an amazing conversation, and I'm really thankful that you guys joined me. I really don't want this to end, but this has got to end. And make sure you guys subscribe to CocoboxTV on YouTube and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at CocoboxTV. Thank you.
Did you like the video? I hoped you did. If so, make sure you subscribe right below at Cocobox TV. And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just follow us and continue our journey through life. Thank you.